quarter about to get underway. A 21-point lead to the Sydney Swans, who came right back in that third quarter, kicking 6 goals to 1. But still Footscray close enough if they're good enough. Aythorne fumbles that one, but it's picked up by McGuinness. Puts it out wide to the outer wing. Neagle leading the race, under no pressure. Up to half forward. Badly directed kick. And Foster again. Gee, marked everything that went in the air.
Foster kicks it quickly towards half forward. Big jump by Dennis Carroll. Couldn't mark. Perhaps be a little disappointed with the umpire because he had 2 grabs at it and even comes up with the football, but umpire Cameron decides on a bounce. The Swans, a comfortable buffer, 21 points in front. Cronin can't break clear. Chance now for Williams. Free kick being picked out of it. Holding his head behind play. Hawkins with the football for Footscray will put his side into attack. Kicks it up looking for Beasley. Beasley in front, a big punch away. Petraglia lacking confidence. Kick off the ground by Williams into the centre. Now's a chance for Baxter. He hasn't had many touches. Royal pushed off the ball by Henwood. Hawk has Murphy in support. Murphy on centre wing. Runs up towards half forward. Kicks it high. Punched away by Foster from Bays over the boundary line, and will have a throw in between wing and half forward, slightly favouring the Swans. The Sydney Swans lead by 21 points, and we're 1.5 minutes into the last quarter.
Bays perhaps got a hand to that one. Holden, and back out of bounds. Well, Tommy Hafey hasn't changed his team around too much. Mark Browning and Graham Cordy have been sitting on the bench for the entire game. And the bench here is a cold concrete dugout nearly below ground level. They'd be frozen solid, I reckon. McGuinness threads a good hand pass away. Aythorne up towards half forward, but Neil Cordy in front and takes a good mark.
Played well, Neil Cordy, against his old side. At half-back, kicks it out towards the wing. Purser in front, a good flip away by Bays. The crumbs gathered by McGuinness. He looks a little fired up. He may have been given something by Mickey Malthouse. The ball at half forward, repelled by Coleman. Kicks it towards the centre of the ground. Purser up over the top. Chance for Baxter. Darren Baxter, free kick being picked out of it by umpire Carey, and it'll go to Purser for the Bulldogs.
The umps must have been having words about the advantage frees that are being paid this season. They've pulled those up a bit today. Bernard Toohey for the Swans towards the outer wing. Hawkins goes after it, but it beats him out of play. 81 playing 60. Swans in front. No addition to the score, and there are the interchange players. Mark Browning, who played a couple in the reserves, and he's come back into the seniors, but he hasn't seen any of the action.
Purser and Bays. Here's a chance for the Swans. Healy, 7th kick, up towards half forward. Thumped away by Maloney. Eccleston takes it over and will have a boundary throw in. Some 70 metres around from the Footscray goal. The Bulldogs badly need one. We're nearly 3.5 minutes in. They still trail by 21 points. Purser gets the tap out. Foster kicks it up towards the wing, but the mark's been taken by Carroll. He plays on, gives himself a little bit of space and thumps a long one up towards full forward. High flyers wanted. The ball's at the back. Chance for Moore to kick his 5th. He goes straight into an open goal. No mistake. Put down your glasses. The Swans for my money.
Yes, it doesn't look good for Footscray now. They needed to get that first goal on the start of the last quarter, and it's gone to the Sydney Swans through Tony Moore, who's kicked his 5th. Look at that, 3 Footscray players flying. No one stayed down, except Tony Moore, who waited out the back. And there's a result. He kicks his 5th goal, and the Swans go to a 27-point lead.
Lesaputty is the one who went for the big fly, and the guys with the experience haven't been doing that this season, and I suppose that's where Footscray today are missing Rick Kennedy. Don't think the skipper would have done that. Don't think Malthouse would be too rapt, but he's just a first gamer. Now here's a free kick out of the middle to Hawke. Morwood again. The man in front's got it. Foster. Mark not paid. Hawkins quickly gets it inboard. And away go Footscray. A kick by Baxter. It is marked at the other end by Carroll. Well, you'd have to think that the Swans are cruising towards victory now when you think that Footscray have kicked just 1 goal since the 13-minute mark of the second quarter, and we're at the 5-minute mark of the last quarter. Here's Cronin. Over the centre of the ground. Thumped down to the front by Henwood. Good roving by Aythorn. Long. Beasley. Not quite. Still the fight on. Ball up.
He nearly had that, Simon.
Well, he wants to do something, Robbo, because he's only had 2 kicks for the day. That's been 2 goals. But really, he's been pretty ineffective up there at full forward.
35 metres out from the Footscray goal. Tui, tackled by Cullen. Umpire Carey decides that he should bounce the ball 35 metres out from the Footscray goal.
Share market's been pretty busy this week. Maybe Simon's a bit tired.
Cousins. Coleman there. No one can really do anything constructive with the football, and we'll have another bounce. Good crowd at VFL Park, 27,000, over 27,000, to watch this battle between the 3rd and 4th teams. Dennis Carroll again, left foot kick into the centre. Sure hands of Tony Maud, it's not paid. Eccleston gathers, can't break clear, and umpire Cameron will bounce.
Why wasn't that a mark?
Well, it should have been paid. If you compare it to Beasley's early in the game, that was he held that twice as long.
Big pack around this, and the Swans only need to bottle it up. Henwood gets a big thump away, and Hafey's boys would be happy just to have the umpire ball it up again and again. Hello, bit of a blue going on here behind the play. Purser in there, umpire speaking to Greg Williams, and now umpire Cameron going across to Henwood. Temper's just a little bit frayed at the moment. And while the umpire was speaking to Henwood, Purser and Coleman kept it going. About 20 metres away, the umpire's going to ball it up.
I think the 1986 joint Brownlow medalist was in that little
Sure he was.
discussion. Cameron bounces, Purser gets the tap out. McGuinness, free kick being picked out of it. It'll go to Williams as McGuinness was about to break away.
I don't think they're too happy with...
Kicks it into the centre. Mark taken by Neagle. Plays on, handballs to Hawke. The Swans are running. Oh, shocking handball. Looking for Quirk. Kick off the ground by Petraglia. Up towards centre-half forward. Crashing his way through was Wallace. Kick off the ground. Beasley has his 3rd kick, and it's smothered. Brilliantly smothered by Healy. Carroll there for the Swans. A great captain's game. Left foot kick. Nearly as good as the right foot. Tony Maud can't mark. Paid the free kick by umpire Cameron. And maybe it's a square off for the mark that he nearly took a few seconds ago.
Forward pops it up high. Kappa's there. Kappa's got it. Been a pretty quiet day for Warwick Kappa. Although he has taken 6 marks, most of them have been too far out for him to score, out near the 50-metre line, and he's kicked just 1 goal, 1. Now Kappa right in front and about 35 metres from goal, or 30. They've hooked that a bit. No, just snuck it home for his 2nd. 68 for the season to Warwick Kappa. But he's starting to get a little bit behind the schedule he needs to kick a ton.
Yeah, well, on a day such as today, when the conditions are really ideal for full forwards, it's been surprising that Beasley and Kappa have only been able to manage 2 goals apiece. But I suppose if Warwick Kappa could have kicked better, he would have had another 4 or 5 chances from about the 50-metre mark. But Michael Ford, I suppose you have to give him credit too. He's done a fairly good job on him today at fullback.
Bounce in the centre, a free kick being paid to Tui. Doesn't mess about, kicks it out wide to Neil Cordy. Little bit of space, then creates the chance to handball it Coleman, and Coleman does it like the Harlem Globetrotter and keeps it there. Kicks it up to Kappa, nearly took a one-hander. Wallace under pressure. Here's Bays, dispossessed by his teammate Williams. Back to Kappa. Kappa back to David Murphy. Murphy zigzagging in and out. He breaks clear. Beautiful kick by Murphy up towards the goals, but it's marked by Rance for Footscray.
Rance goes out wide, looking for McGuinness. Hawkins backs through the pack and is caught holding the ball. The tackle came from behind. He didn't see it coming because he was travelling in a reverse motion.
It's a good decision, that one, by the umpire, because Doug Hawkins quite often does try to pretend that he's been pushed in the back.
Morwood on 50. Kappa, not quite this time. Holden, and the other number 22, Cullen. And a free kick. No, it's the free kick to Cullen. Holden holding the ball. Holding the ball if you don't use your G's.
Kick by Cullen out to half-back, out of side. Punched away by Bays over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in just outside the 50-metre line. The Swans leading comfortably by 33 points. We're 10.5 minutes into the last quarter, and Footscray have compounded. Chance for Bays. Quick kick towards centre-half forward. Williams showing courage. Handball over the top. Morwood taps on. Eccleston intercepts. Kicks out towards the wing. No one home on centre wing. AWOL, the wingers. Goes out there, and here's a chance for Thripp. Gathers the ball. Feeds it back to Neil Cordy, who has been one of the best on the ground. His kick is wide, close to the boundary line. Oh, down goes Williams from a crude Eccleston tackle. And Williams will take the free kick for the Swans.
Yes, I'm sure the Footscray boys aren't too happy with Greg Williams from that earlier incident.
And now the free kick's coming up the ground. It's another one to the Swans, this one to Cordy. As Greg Williams trots off. He does reckon he gets a lot of treatment. I suppose he does. Cordy up in the direction of Kappa. Ground level. Comes to Maloney. No distance with that kick. Oh, Royal up too early. The mark hadn't been taken, it would have been a free. Actually, it is the free to Greg Healy, which is a bit of a shame because a great mark by Cordy. And here's a bit of a go between Henwood and Cousins. Continuing on something that started a while ago. Healy's kick to the goal square. Kappa was decked before it got there. And the Footscray man, Rance, has the mark. It's all academic, really. A 33-point lead to the Swans.
Rance with the ball. Last line of defence for the Bulldogs. Set out towards the members' side. High flyer, Lesser Putty, couldn't mark. Thripp goes after it. Bays intercepts. Thripp takes the hand pass. Backs back, tries to get away from Lesser Putty. And as he does so, he goes over the boundary line and we'll have a throw-in. Just slightly forward of the centre wing. Going towards the Swans' goal. Chance there for Cullen. Kick off the ground by Liberatore. Thought it was. And it goes over the boundary line and we'll have a throw-in on centre wing, right in the players' interchange area as Terry Thripp recovers. There's a chance now for Footscray. Thorne can't break clear. He's on the bottom of the pack, struggling for possession. And umpire Cameron will bounce right on the VFL logo.
Generated a bit, hasn't it? 2 goals to nothing in this last quarter. And still Footscray have managed just one in a half of football after setting up a big lead. McGuinness up to Foster, who's been moved back to the forward line where he's been in the last month and a half or so. He's been a great defender. See if he can get some goals on the board. Well, he sets one up here. Good mark, Beasley. And Carter's not prepared to let him go. He'll give 15 away. Beasley will be kicking from the goal line here in a minute. It's a top mark under pressure.
Yeah, straight mark to Simon Beasley. Pretty fortunate because of the wobbly old kick off the boot from Peter Foster. He tried to go for a long spiral torpedo.
Well, Footscray needs 6 goals to win. Can they get them from the 14-minute mark onwards? There's one. Beasley's third for the day.
Yes, I suppose it's good to see them kick a few goals here towards the end, but Footscray's performance has been pretty disappointing here in the second half. A lot of their players have gone AWOL, and once the Swans started applying that pressure, the Footscray smaller players really have gone out of the game, and it's been one-way traffic right since half-time.
Well, there was a sign in the crowd that said puppy power, and the Bulldogs certainly have been bullpups since halfway through the second quarter. Wallace on the bottom of that pack has been awarded a free kick, probably for persistence. Wallace to put the Bulldogs into attack. He goes straight towards goal, looking for Beasley. Carter's there. Can't quite gain it. Chance for Cullen. Coleman well tackled. Ball running free. Half-back flank. Punched away by Cronin. Murphy can't get there. And we'll have a boundary throw in 60 metres around from the Footscray goal. If they could kick a goal in the next 30 seconds, it just might be enough to spur them on. Thrip going off and Graham Cordy coming on. Boundary throw in 60 metres around from the Footscray goal. Free kick being picked out of that ruck contest, and it'll go to Coleman for the Swans.
Well, that interchange is a highlight in itself. Tommy waited until the 15.5-minute mark of the last quarter to make one change. He was criticised in his early days at Collingwood for doing something like that. I suppose if your 18 men are winning, why bother? Well, lightning hand pass Williams to Bays. Standing start, kick 60 metres. Good running mark by Hawk. But he's still 65 metres out from goal. A lead up the ground by Neagle. That's good sprinting at this stage of the game. 50 metres out. A centering kick to Holden. And just in case you thought Footscray might be coming back with that first goal in about an hour, I'm sure that Craig Holden will steady things up for the Swans. His 13th kick only. Started pretty well. Had 6 kicks in the first quarter. And he's put that right through the middle. The Swans are 99. Footscray are 66.
And that's just about the end of it. Footscray haven't really looked like it from half-time, and that was far too easy for the Swans. They've got players running everywhere. They've been unguarded by the Footscray defence. And here's Neagle. Pops it over to Holden. We've had plenty of space there on the forward line.
Bounce back in the centre. Chance for Bays. Out in front of Lissaputty. And he keeps his feet well, Mark Bays. Lissaputty fell over. Goes on with it. Mark Bays up towards half-forward. Good mark by Healy over the top of Athorn. And it's probably one of the only occasions in a 2-out duel that Gerard Healy has beaten the young Footscray player. He kicks it over the corner. Here's Holden inside 50 metres. Goes for goal number 2. High ball into the square. Mark taken by Rance for Footscray.
Rance towards the outer side for Hawkins. Crashing into Holden. Who gives away a 15-metre penalty. Bit frivolous. Doesn't matter. Hawkins up to centre wing. Foster again. Spoiled this time by Carroll. Petraglia running out of room. I think most people pick Footscray to win. With the bookies, they definitely started favourites for this game, which would have been an amazing come-round, I suppose, after a 108-point defeat in the first round. You know, it was looking a bit like it at half-time, but not since then. Hello's a fight on back here behind play. I think they're getting a bit cold now. There's no sun left. They just want to warm it up a bit.
It's the only interest left in the game at this stage because the Swans have made it a one-horse race after half-time. There's Goma. He's looking very upset.
He's got the pencil cocked too, Peter Cameron. I think he might do a bit of writing. Mervyn Neagle goes in. He mightn't be the only one. First, it looked as though he might have been a bit close. Is he going in too, or just is he the hitty?
I think he's the hitty, Drew. He's looking very upset, Andrew Purser. And really, it's a pity at this stage of the game when the Swans are so far in front that Merv Neagle's name has gone into the book.
Absolutely ridiculous. No discipline. The Swans are short on numbers. They need all of their experienced players. Purser's kicked to half-forward. It's punched away. Petraglia has McGuinness in support. McGuinness a short kick, looking for Beasley. Carter. Sensational effort by Rod Carter. the slips catch of the season so far, and he picked it up inches from the ground. The rugged fullback kicks it out towards the wing. Chance for the Bulldogs. Lessapati, now Cullen. Dispossessed. Bays does it easily around Cousins and kicks it long with that left foot beautifully and finds Tony Moore with the sure hands of the Swans half forward. He's kicked 5 goals, Tony Moore, 7th mark. A little too far out to score from a standing position. He's got a 15-metre penalty. Footscray player ran over the mark. And Tony Moore will now kick from about 40 metres out. Young Eccleston, that ran over the mark. A chance for Tony Moore to kick his 6th goal. And if the issue was not beyond doubt before this kick, it certainly is now. That man doesn't miss many. 6 goals for Tony Moore. 16 goals, 9, 105 the Swans. Footscray 9, 12, 66. The difference is 39 points, and we're 21 minutes into the last quarter.
I think that'd be his best haul for the season.
Yeah, it's been a good performance by Tony Moore. 6 goals straight. And with Kappa being out of business up there at full forward, they've really needed Tony Moore to kick goals. And he's done just that with 6 straight.
He kicked 24 in 13 games, so not even 2 a game prior to this. 6 today. Coleman out of the middle to Holden. Lessapati. Tui a bit of a juggle, but eventually the mark. Played well in defence. Even got up on the forward line to kick a goal at one stage. Coleman. 22 minutes gone in the last quarter. Tempted spoil by Maloney. Comes to Baxter. Wallace don't like that. He took a courageous mark with Coleman bearing down.
Plays on, kicks it out towards the wing, looking for Cronin, takes the mark. Browning comes on, Tui off. Chance now for Cronin. His kick up towards full forward. Punch away by Footscray forwards. Williams on the end of it. Handball out to Murphy. Creative Williams handball again. Murphy's kick close to the boundary line. Graham Cordy, he can't control it. It goes over the boundary line. Just. A little kick by Graham Cordy, and it just nearly went out on the full.
Graham Cordy's been on the bench for 3.5 quarters, and Brian Cordy for Footscray must have been there for about 2. Must have been a family reunion on the bench. Opposing teams today. Williams up to Tony Morwood, who's been very mobile. Out wide to Bays. He's nearly further from goal than Morwood was. Bays, such a beautiful kick. That goes 55. Kappa works to the front. Almost. It's been paid.
I think he paid the free kick, Drew.
Well, he did get his hands on it.
Yes, over the shoulder. And Warwick made sure the umpire saw it too.
Well, you don't head the goal kicking without doing a bit of acting, do you, Bernie?
You saying I acted, Drew? Definitely not me.
Just a beautiful kick. Warwick Kappa coming up for his 3rd. That just fell over the line, the behind line. 2 goals, 2 to Kappa.
Kick in by Rance. Good mark by Murphy over the top of the pack. 27th possession.
Great game.
To the diminutive Swans wingman. And I think you're spot on, Drew. A tremendously improved player. His kick up towards full forward, marked by Rance. He plays on, kicks it out to half-back. Slipping over was Hawkins. Missing the ball was Neagle. Hawkins back on it to Cullen. Cullen's kick long to half-forward. Good mark by Foster. Over the top, it has Petraglia. Back to Foster's a bad hand pass. Intercepting Quirk. Petraglia there. No confidence, Angelo, today. And Dennis Carroll bottles it up. Foster looking frustrated. Free kick given against the Swans defender, Carroll. And it'll go to Petraglia at half forward for the Bulldogs.
He's got the only bit of sun on the ground, right into his eyes from there. Royal can't take the mark. He gets a mouthful of VFL Park grass. Here's Noddy Carter. Quirk on all fours, but it goes Footscray's way. Cousins kick smothered. Aythorne's kick smothered. Browning can't get his first kick. Gee, they're really having a go, which belies the fact that the margin is 40 points.
Well, they've been tremendously desperate in this second half, the Swans. And they've applied tremendous pressure to the Footscray side.
Chance for Holden. He gets the hand pass to Neagle. Neagle over the top, has Carroll in support. He kicks the ball well with both feet. This time it's a right foot kick to half forward. No mark taken. Morwood goes after it again with sheer class written all over it. Tony Morwood's left foot kick to full forward. Punched away by Michael Ford. He goes after it again. The chaser, the quick chaser is Michael Byrne. But Ford's kick into the centre has been marked by Holden.
That was Ford to Holden. You wouldn't believe it. Have to put a registration sticker on it. 60 metres out for the Bulldogs. Hawkins for the Swans, and forward go Footscray over the top to Maloney, up towards half forward to Foster, and another good mark to Peter Foster. And what a day he's had. Aerial supremacy, 12 marks, easily the best for the day in this game. Carter drops one, taken away by Quirk, and ball out of play.
He's played well, Peter Foster, 12 marks. Either at centre-half back or centre-half forward. He's been Footscray's best player by a long way.
Great tap out by Purser. Kick off the ground by Browning. Good smother by Neagle. Pressured by Maloney. Neagle goes after it again. Crashes into Quirk. The ball at centre-half forward for the Bulldogs. Cullen to Cousins. Cousins over the top to Aythorne. Aythorne shoots for goal and puts it through. Some ironical cheers from Footscray supporters, if there are any left here at VFL Park. 10th goal for the Bulldogs, 10-12-72. They trail by 34 points. Sydney 16-10, 106. And we're 2.5 minutes into time on in this final quarter.
There's Cousins, who's gone out of the game too, gets a handball across to Aythorne. And a lovely kick from 40 metres out, but all too late for Footscray, unfortunately.
27.5 minutes gone. There's a putty, caught by Hawke. Cousins, good swerving. Not bad distance with his kick either. Peter Foster again, got a bad bounce that time. Picked up by Royal. Pokes it over the top to Purser. Look out, here comes Henwood. I suppose Henwood could have gone on with it if he wanted an appointment on Monday night, but he decided to back off.
Very wise at this stage of the game. It's not worthwhile.
Andrew Purser shoots for goal. Just offline. Through for another behind of the Bulldogs. They're 13th, 10-13-73. 33 points in arrears. The Swans comfortable. 16-10, 106. 3.5 minutes of time on last quarter. Carter kicks the ball in, goes straight up the centre. Looking for Neil Cordy, and another great mark. It's been an aerial battle between Neil Cordy and Peter Foster all day long. Hand pass to Murphy. Murphy's kick out wide brings Browning into the play. He'd be very cold, I would think, Mark Browning. He spent 3 3/4 on the bench. He's kicked towards half forward. Good gather by Maloney. Tony Morwood dispossesses. Eccleston tackled by Hawke. Well, what was that? It wasn't a hand pass. Hawke. Chance for Tony Morwood. Coleman. Kick towards half forward's been marked by Stephen Wallace, the Footscray centre man. He turns play out towards half-back member's side. Hawkins, left foot kick towards the wing. Mark taken by McGuinness in front of Browning.
Just seconds remaining, approaching the 29.5-minute mark. Well, the Sydney Swans came from behind. They trailed by 11 points at half-time, but they won at 16-10, 106 to the Bulldogs 10-13-73.